This is Eric from Pack Hacker, and today we're taking a look at the Topo Design Pack Bags, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. If you find this video helpful, make sure you subscribe so we can continue making content like this to help you travel smarter. Let's dive in. So as you can see here, we have a few different sizes to work with, but before we talk about the different sizes and what you can use them for, we'll go over the materials and the hardware and all that good stuff. So these are quite a bit heavier than your standard packing cubes or even some like organizers and stuff like that. We've got a 400D recycled nylon, and this is like a very durable material for what I use them for is a packing cube, and I know you could use these for other things as well, which we'll get into, but just very heavy material. But I kind of like that if you're going on a more rugged adventure. You don't want a 40 or 50D material, which is what a lot of ultralight packing cubes are. And in the grand scheme of things, unless you're really on like a weight budget, I don't know what else to call that, you're not going to notice the difference in weight or size. These things still pack down pretty small, but if you are really cutting it close on how much weight you can bring, you will notice a little bit of, obviously these are a bit heavier and they do take up a bit more space, but we've got really bulky YKK zippers on this thing. I believe they're YKK number 10 zippers, so they do feel like a little bit much sometimes because like you're just putting clothes in here for the most part. You could put other things inside of here, but it just feels like a lot for what you're able to put inside. But with that said, you don't have to worry about them busting or breaking or anything like that. I really like these zipper pulls. They're red, they're easy to see, even if it's like dark inside your pack, you can really see them and grab onto them. And because they're such a big zipper, it is harder to open, but because of these pulls, you can really open and close it without worry. One thing to note is if you do travel with a lot of like really light, thin materials like tank tops and stuff like that, I did worry that clothes might get stuck in this zipper because it is so big and beefy and it could damage your clothes. I didn't have any issues with that, just I guess maybe the way I packed, but something to keep in mind. And also on the zipper track here, we have these on both ends, so wherever you leave the zippers, you have something to hold on to open and close the zipper track. We have this little handle here on the back, which I really dig because these are pretty big and beefy. This is one of the 10-liter cubes. You can really get not a lot of weight, but they can get kind of hefty pulling in and out of the bag. So you can kind of grab them and pull them, or if you're like at the airport and you want to rush real quick to the bathroom to change or something like that, you can just carry the cube with you and not your whole backpack. And then last but not least, we have this Topo Designs logo right here. And it's a little bit big, but I don't really, doesn't bother me. It has a nice contrast with the pack material, and I just think overall it looks pretty nice, and I like their logo as well. So when it comes to the sizes we have available, this is the smallest one we have on hand here. This is a 5-liter, just a kind of a smaller pack that you could, because it is 5 liters, you could still put shirts and stuff like that, but depending how you pack this, maybe this is like for shorts, socks, underwear, or swimsuit could go inside of here. And then these two are actually both 10 liters, and you can't really tell so much because this is from the top down. But when you go like this, you can see that this one is much wider. So basically it's half the size, but double the width. So depending on what bag you're taking, or maybe you want to throw one of these in your trunk, or like if you're bringing rolling luggage and how you want to pack, I like that there are different form factors. These two are obviously a similar form factor, and if you stack like that, you could do 2 of these on top of this one, and you have a nice rectangle. But maybe you have a different kind of bag or different kind of space you want to pack out. So you have this one. This one reminds me of like a toaster. I don't know if anybody ever saw that movie, like The Brave Toaster or whatever, but that's just what I think of whenever I see this size. But maybe that's the size you have available to you in your rolling luggage or your travel backpack. So it's just nice to see that you can really mix and match, almost like Legos. Like you could have one of these and then stack 2 of them, and then you have like the same size rectangles you have over here. So I've gone on and on about this for long enough. You get the point. You can really mix and match these. But I will open up this smaller one here just so you guys can see what's going on the inside. Pull out the clothes I have stowed in there. Whoop. But as you can see, we've got no organization inside of here. And as far as packing cubes go, I prefer that anyways. Like I don't really want any organization getting in my way. Depending, like if it's something that integrates with a backpack or something like that, maybe you want like some kind of segmentation or something like that. But I really dig that there's no organization inside here. It's just a free-for-all, especially when you get into these larger cubes with both of these 10-liter cubes here. You can really kind of get into the nitty-gritty of your organization, and it's on you, not on what the packing cube provides you. So something that I think is kind of important to note with the toaster shaped cube here is that if you do pack this out with a typical packing cube, I guess I'll bring this one over as well, that's a little bit shallower. It's like, okay, I've got 2 layers going here, but I can see the bottom layer, like I've got a sweatshirt or a sweater there on the bottom, so I can kind of access everything pretty easily. But with this taller one, because it is kind of toaster or lunchbox, whatever you want to do, is I've got 3 different layers of stuff inside of here. So I've got 2 things on top, a sweater, and then another layer on the bottom. So if you're trying to get the stuff that's on the bottom, you can't do that as well because you can't see it, and you're kind of got to pull things out to see what's under there. And then maybe you'll mess up your stuff in the process, and that's just something that's important to note. So when I used these this weekend, I put the stuff that I knew I wasn't going to get out as much inside of here, or maybe you put your larger items in this one because won't be able to fit as much. I guess you can fit the same amount inside here, but if you put all of your larger items in here, there's not as much things to navigate around. And then if you have your smaller stuff in this one or this one, it's easier because even with 2 layers, you can still access everything. So that's something that I thought was important to note. But overall, I really dug these, I suppose is the correct way to say that. But I didn't think I was going to, because I thought these heavy materials were going to kind of bog me down in the zippers, but I really liked them because a lot of times with packing cubes, when I'm stuffing them, I always feel like I'm going to break them. Like I feel like the materials are gonna break, or the zipper's gonna pop, and that doesn't happen all that often, but I never felt like that was gonna happen with these. Or if you're going on a more rugged adventure, you can just not worry about it with these. With a 400D nylon material, you just don't have to worry about it, and not having to worry about it felt very good. And because they are so much thicker than other packing cubes, they hold their shape really well, so you can stow other stuff inside as well. I actually used this one. I kind of made it into like a little tech pouch. I put a bunch of cables and stuff in there, and it wasn't the best, but it can work in a pinch, and that's something I like while traveling, is that if your gear can do more than maybe what it was designed to do. So if you're looking for something versatile, this is a great option for you. So there you have it, the Topo Designs Pack Bags. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.